Planes in 3D. Not a Pixar movie. This one was made by the last vestige of Disney's direct-to-video unit, which was called Disneytoons. At least it was at the end of its life. Now, Planes is actually the reason I decided to go through the whole Cars universe series. I had noticed among people who review 3D movies that Planes was often mentioned when they did videos on the best 3D movies, in their opinion. No, it wasn't at the top of any list, but it usually got at least an honorable mention. So I was very much looking forward to seeing it. And frankly, I thought I was in for perhaps a tedious, low-rent kids movie that just happened to have really good stereo. Now, wow, was I wrong about that? This movie is great. Now, I've watched all of the Cars movies in relative close proximity over the past week or so, maybe a day or so apart. And after I had finished, I found it was the Planes movies that I immediately watched a second time. There was just something infectious about them. They are easy on the mind, pleasant to the mood, and just want to have fun. These are fun movies. This first Planes movie is what I imagined Cars 2 was going to be. It's a feel-good race movie. Its premise is a simple underdog story. Though it borrows some ideas from Cars 1, it's unique enough to not feel derivative. I never felt like I've seen it before. Part of why I watched it a second time almost immediately is at first I couldn't quite put my finger on why I enjoyed it so much. It seemed like such a simple experience, a McDonald's experience. Tasted great and didn't challenge me. What I noticed the second time around is how rich this movie is with character. The lead, a plane called Crop Duster, meets and interacts with at least a dozen, if not 24, interesting and memorable characters. This movie is 3D pop-out in its personality. I have come to believe that character is the only thing that matters in a movie. I had a bit of my life where I studied script writing, and plot always seemed to be the focus of most text. Sometimes they'll acknowledge setting, but somehow character always seems to be hiding in plain sight. And I find I measure how good a movie was by my ability to imitate and mimic the people I've just watched. If I can't really pretend to be them, then I probably wasn't really interested in what was happening to them. Now, this isn't a Pixar movie, and there is a visible lack of detail in the graphics, but it absolutely makes up for it in what matters, the people. People matter, and this is just brimming with them. And the 3D is really good. The tips of the plane are often just slightly poking out, and the roller coaster rides through the air are a lot of fun. They often get a shot of the plane as if the camera were attached to one of the wings, so you get a fantastic stereo close-up while also seeing the action of the flying. There's also a comical plot point where Crop Duster is afraid of heights, even though he's a plane, so he always flies close to the ground, so you always get lots of stuff to see whizzing by. Now, it lacks a little bit of detail in its texture, but there's water splashes, smoke, clouds, rain, and wonderful confetti in one scene, all of which look great in 3D. A lot of the fun with the 3D is in conjunction with the movement of the film. There are many scenes that just don't seem like much as a still image, but that 3D combined with the movement of the planes through the elements is spectacular. It's also a good movie to turn up real loud if you're able to. It's got lots of great music that really gets your blood pumping. It's just a feel-good race movie. Now, they made a second Planes movie, also in 3D, which is also very good for much the same reasons. Now, that 3D Blu-ray was hard to get a hold of. It's not widely available. But I lucked out and got a copy, so I'll review that next.